Was I on mute the whole time? I think I was on mute the whole time. I don't even know. All right, I think I was on mute the whole time. So let's go back. What I was saying is the Science of Attraction book. You need to go get this book. Um, we can read it together and read it along. Um, and it's a manual for me. This is something that I have to read every day. This is something that I'm allowed to read every day. I get to read every day. And it's the code of the woman's nature. It begins to break down the understanding of the code that God has put in a woman. And it is a secular book, so it's not, there is no like, it would I teach this in church? Yes, I would, for sure. Um Only because the church has been influenced by the world so much that sometimes you don't even see the difference. And so with that, you have women that will see, let's say, Proverbs 31, and they'll look at that woman and they automatically go, I can't be that woman. What that does is when you say stuff like that, it's obvious that you can't be that woman. But when you tell yourself that, you're speaking that into existence. As a man, you might need to assist her in this. You might need to see that she has what she needs in order to fulfill uh, that scripture and those words. Because if you have a woman of a Proverbs 31, if you have that characteristic of a woman who is not influenced by the world system, uh, you might have a more productive marriage and a more successful marriage. There are other factors. Most definitely, yes, there are other factors, and but this is the code. This is the foundation. If you were to build a house, what would you begin with? You have your land, and would you just place it on that land? Would you have to investigate the nature of that dirt? What is under that dirt? Is it just sand? Is there water beneath? What's under there? And then would you just start building the structure? Would you just put up the skeleton of this house? Would you start building, hey, let's put up the walls? Well, where would they go to? Where would these walls be anchored to? Where would the walls be anchored to? What if it rains? Will this ground be able to sustain the rain and make sure that that house doesn't slide down the hill or into the street? You want to have a solid foundation. These are basic fundamentals. These are, and it's, I say it because I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, that man is not real. I'm telling you right now, today, 2024, April 27th at 11:50 a.m. Most of the men that I know haven't gone through this basic foundation. They don't live by these basic foundations. They don't live by these rules and these codes of conduct. You should listen to your woman, they say. Listen to your woman, they say. I say this. You should watch, and what you should listen to is her behavior. Her behavior, not the words that come out of her mouth. Okay. You want to align yourself with her behavior. You want to align yourself with her nature. Because if you were to fall short of that, I have done this many a times. I have done this very recently where I dismissed my own code, my own process, my own path. And because of that, there is information that was spilled out by the female gender that was false. Some of it was true, some of it was false. And the parts that were false could have been detrimental to my marriage. However, I have set up a system that allows me to be transparent and honest and honorable to my wife. Had I not set that system up, it could have been bad. It could have been real bad, really bad. And I had to assess my part in this particular situation where I'm not going to get into detail, but it was because I let my guard down, right? It was because I was being too nice. I was being too nice, and it was interpreted improperly. And when I saw red flags, I didn't, I kept going. I recently watched this movie. I don't know exactly what it's called. I never know what movies are called and titled because I'm not really watching movies. I don't really sit there and watch movies. I put the movie on and then I do work. And or I put the movie on just so that I can check out um for a moment of time. That's so it's kind of sad, but the part that I noticed in this particular movie was it was about, and I don't know actresses' names and actors and shit like that. I don't keep. I could care less about. Oh, this person's in this movie, and then da, 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 da. I don't know any of that BS. But there was a woman. She went to the military, and she was a dog handler, and these dogs were going to, and these handlers were going to Afghanistan, Middle East, and they would sniff out and find mortars and find bombs and find these little zip tie things for bombs and whatever they call that. And she had red flags, and her dog would sniff, 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 sniff. And right before they would get to this mortar or this bomb, she can smell. This dog can smell out these things. The dog would sit down, and then she would put a red flag, and then raise up her hand, and she would be going before the convoy. She would go before this convoy so that they would be protected. So she would put herself online and the dog online because if the dog just so happened to not smell the 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 gunpowder or whatever, then they would blow up. And so the dog had to be good at sniffing and understanding what the directive was and is. And so she would put out these red flags, this, and that. Well, they missed one, and the one that they missed blew up, and they almost died. And when we don't adhere to the red flags, when we want to keep going for the sake of pleasure, um, or fun, or whatever it may be, you fill in the blank for yourself, and whatever that is, um, when we don't heed to those things, it could backfire on us, you know. And so that's basically what happened in a nutshell, without giving you all the details. Um, and so it's a wake up call, and I love that. I love that because it's like one of these things where, um, okay, I start to notice because of this me getting blown up, if you will, and surviving, and surviving. Now I'm like, okay, let me go back And in hindsight, what can I change? How did I miss this? Well, Mark, you were focused on trying to get people to like you, or you were focused on pleasure, or you were focused on fun, and you had set goals to accomplish, but then you were thinking like, oh, let me take a break and I'll go over here and I'll go over there and I'll be with this person and I'll be with that person, and that just really was a setup for failure. It was a setup for failure, and I understand that now. I understand that now, and I understand what is the understanding is that Mark, stay on your guard. Still have fun, but stay on your guard. You dig? Stay on your guard. Stay on your guard. Have fun, experience pleasure, but stay on your guard. So it is her nature to align with someone who is capable of protection to ensure her safety. Nature coded its program to have the female reproduce and supply the game with another player. This is her role as the incubator, as a person who is takes the seed of a man and then incubates this baby for 9 months. And then there is a human that is produced. She has the privilege and the honor to hold this baby. And then that creates that bond. Hopefully it creates a bond. And it does, but hopefully she's aware of this. Okay. And hopefully she wasn't just in it for the pleasure. Because if she was in it for the pleasure, that's a red flag. If she was just in it for the, I would just keep saying pleasure, then she won't be invested long term. What she'll do is, and because she's there to survive, what happens? What happens? Well, okay, well now I got this baby, but this guy who I loved or I wanted to shack up with is no longer in the picture because I drove him out or because he left or because he wasn't ready or she wasn't ready. Uh, she was toxic still, even though just because a mom and a woman has a baby doesn't mean she's like this perfect person. Because I she's definitely not all of them. Some of them, very few now. But they do exist. The good ones still exist, I believe. And so, what she does to survive is she has to now, instead of being married and having a man, let's say, because not all of them, are doing this, but she'll do is she'll marry the state. She'll get in bed with the state, and she'll have the state run her life, and so she can have dual citizenship. She can have her pleasure, multiple pleasures with multiple items uh, inside of her, and then she can also have this state who's supplying her with money and resources, and then she can go play. She can continue to play. And unfortunately, um, that one out of five, that one will still be super and so toxic that she won't realize that she's destroying lives as she goes. But it's really what it is. You got to understand, it's her nature to, she's trying to just survive. She's just trying to survive. She's trying to survive. Every time a man, every time as a man, you demonstrate your inability to protect her and lose your strength, she will unconsciously lose attraction and your value will go down. So at this moment, you start going, but you said, no, 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 no. But you said as men should be removed from your vocabulary. But you said, I heard her say this, and that. She wanted to do this, and that because why? Because she said so. Mm-mm. No, no, no. You don't love me, and I know now. Tell the people. And that's what I'm doing, right? This is what I'm doing. And so we have to be aware. My job is only to make aware, right? I actually don't want you to listen to me, right? I don't want your views. But what I have to do, I have to get this code out. I have to get this understanding out. It's going to look different. It's going to be the same poop wrapped up in a different container. Okay? That's all. Over time, this accumulation of weakness will affect the relationship and cautious and consequences will emerge, right? So you become this weaker vessel. You become this you start to beg, you start to whine, you start to complain, and slowly but surely this takes her down and down until she no longer wants to be with you. Or she will stay with you because maybe the relationship and the relations are good, right? But her eyes are on something else. And that's dangerous. Super, super dangerous. Super, super dangerous. Where's my notes? About I label it, what do you do when one or two or three or four or more is gossiping about you? They're spreading lies all out there, right? Um, I believe that it's coming from a place of pain and hurt. Um, it's a survival mechanism. Uh, I think men and women can do these things. More women tend to do these things. Men also gossip, and it's usually because of their pain and their hurt, and they're just kind of like they didn't have that male figure in there to let them know that um, that's a move of it's not of their nature to do that. But it happens. It happens. And I believe that with Tresho9 and this podcast and this show, my life has been a big experiment and a case study. That's how I see my life. I see my entire life. If I was to sum it up in a thesis in a short sentence or a few words, it's the big experiment or one big experiment, one big case study because I didn't have that father figure. So I had to use my own with God. I had to use this intuition and I had to use this wisdom and I had to use this information. I had to use this information. I had to do a lot of reflection. I didn't get it. I don't have the opportunity not to do reflection. It was, you have to do reflection if you want to learn these things because you're a seeker. I am a seeker. And so what I suggest is that you have a plan as we wrap this up. You have a plan. You have a plan as a man at all times. You have a plan of action. You have a process that you live by. You have disciplines that you live by. You have um, you have code of conduct that you live by, and you don't deviate from that, no matter what. You don't get tired of it. You stay on that track. You stay on that track. You stay and you stay and you stay and you stay and you stay. You never deviate. Never ever. You can never you're always on. You dig? You're always on. Each and every time you're going to be around a woman, you have to have a plan of action, right? And this is what I talked about earlier in the podcast, in the show, where I didn't have it and it backfired on me. I didn't have the plan of action. I was more focused on pleasure. I was more focused on fun and trying to be accepted. I got caught up in the tornado. I but it will backfire in your face and you will blow up. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Let's take the spider, for example, because you have these evils that are out there that are preying and building a web. They are building a web of disaster. They're building a web of division. They want to wedge their way in there and they want to separate. They want to separate you from the clan, from the tribe. And if you're not thinking properly, you need to be on your guard. You need to be aware. You need to be circumspectly. You need to be circumspectly, meaning you need to be circular, circular, speckly, vision, being able to see all around you and using your intuition, using your spirit guide, using your intuition and your wisdom to navigate through this life. Because if you don't, everyone will take advantage of you. Everyone will take it, and they don't necessarily mean to, but they will. And most people are not living. I'm telling you right now, most people are not living like this. I was raised in the church, and I've seen some stuff. They are definitely not, they're like, oh, they're just you want to separate these codes, the word, your characters. It's always, you don't get a break from that. You don't be like, oh, I'm on vacation now. Oh my God, I can let loose. No, you don't do that. You don't have the privilege to do that. That's not something that happens. And so the spider makes us web, and the spider will wait. And so it looks innocent. That's how the spider traps, because it looks nice. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful web. Oh my gosh, this web is amazing. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is a work of art. This is art. I like this. This is art. And you go and you find yourself in it. And then what happens? You get stuck. You get stuck. And then that spider goes out. Bam. Starts wrapping you up and saving you for a later time. Wooing you. Being soft with you. Being generous with you. All the while, they are going to eat your insides out. Take into account your actions and the part you play in the scheme of things, for sure. For sure. So, in this web, where was I? David was supposed to be in battle. He was supposed to be in battle, but he wasn't in battle. As a king, he wasn't in battle. He found himself not in battle. And he found himself looking at somebody else's wife, right? He already had plenty. How many do you need? You know what I mean? You already had a few. You know what I'm saying? They were yours. You didn't need this one. Sometimes we do have lapse of judgment. Sometimes we do have hiccups. And we do have this idea and this thought that we can let up, but we cannot let up. You always have to be on your guard when it comes to the world system and the people that subscribe to the type of system or succumb to the system. Create your own system to ward off these evils, right? You got to create a pattern, a system, a discipline, and stick to that discipline, Mark. That's me. Again, watching her behavior. Okay? Not what comes out of her mouth. Okay? Okay? It's her behavior you're watching. Again, watching her behavior, it's in her actions that you will find about who she is. You will know the about by watching her actions. Watch her actions. Watch her mood and her demeanor. She'll tell you. She'll tell you who she is without really telling you who she is. She'll say all these wonderful things or even sad things. And as soon as you feel that tickle inside of you, it's not your balls being tickled, it's your wisdom that says run. As soon as you hear that run, then you run immediately, immediately, immediately. I look back and I'm like, man, I felt that tickle. Definitely was not in my balls. It was not. It was in my gut. It was in my heart. And it said run. And literally, this is what it looks like. If you're single out there or married or whatever you are, and you find yourself in a situation where you need to leave and you're in a situation where it could look bad, right? You pick up right then and there. You don't even say anything. You just walk away. That's rude. What if you're in a conversation with somebody? Doesn't matter. Just literally just walk away. Deal with it later. Well, what happened to you, Mark? How come you didn't show up for this? And why did you walk away? It doesn't matter. I was protecting myself. From what? It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. I just need to know. You dig? If you listen to what she said, you'll say stuff like, "But you said, but you said, but you said this." And see that but you said this. Stop that. Be on your mission and your mission only. Yeah, it's true. Your mission is part, being with women, if that's what you choose. It depends on top of the relationship. When it comes to work relationships, I personally I work with, I don't know, 95, 90%, 80% something women. And so with that, I have to be on my guard constantly. And so we stay at 6 feet. It's like COVID. You know what I'm saying? I put you at 12 feet with the email distance. You dig? And I'm always going to put somebody on that email to make sure that we have that we don't get it misconstrued. And even when you do that, stuff goes out haywire. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy when you have a group of people that are bored. It's crazy when you have a group of people that are not on their mission. It's crazy when you have people that are not seeking and grounded and rooted in the source at all times. It's amazing what these people will do. It's crazy. It's crazy. Be on guard. Be watchful. Be mindful. Keep everybody at email distance. And remember the spider's web. Remember that spider's web. And so that's what I was talking about today. And I think I was not on, volume was off, and I just realized it. But I just basically repeated myself. And so you didn't miss anything. And that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps it up. I don't know exactly what I'm going to leave you guys with. I'll leave you with this. In the very beginning, I was saying that my heart is grieved, and it is. It is. Um, Partly too because of my own actions, and but at the same time, it's. I don't blame anybody. That's what I don't do. I don't put blame on people because people are going to do what they're going to do. Some of them are oblivious to what they're actually doing. But I can't be oblivious to my own actions, and that's what what counts. You dig? That's what is going on. And so we learn these lessons, right? And I know I'm being very vague and this and that, but because it's still very fresh. Um, and so yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. I don't know why I had the mic up like this, and ooh, it's just I'm just off right now. It's all good, baby, baby. Yeah, yeah. It's all good. Um, Another thing that I just my heart is it goes out to men. Um, Truly, 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 truly. I want to help men. I want to help men because we're getting bamboozled here, and and there's a lot of forces out there that are against us. A lot of forces out there that are against us, and there's a lot of webs that are being put out there, and we need to be careful and to be mindful of these things. And unfortunately, it results in suicide. So these type of events will happen to a man over time, over time, over time, over time. It'll happen and happen, and they'll I need more money. I don't have enough money, and then this the body, and then this the girl, and this and that about career, and then the home, and then the car, and then the this and the that. All these things that are being said on social media, and we watch this. We watched it as entertainment, but it creeps in our soul, and it gives us cancer. You dig? And then we take it upon ourselves and end our life. And I had a not a co he was a coworker actually. I've worked with him before, but it was a classmate of mine who was in the lower grades, who I knew and was aware of and had some classes with also. And he recently committed suicide. And here's a guy. If you just looked at him, you could never tell. You can never tell if you just looked at him. And I'm sure those of his friends and his family that were super close to him kind of had an idea. You know what I mean? They kind of had an idea of like, man, I don't know if he's okay. And he had a wife and he had a child. And I don't know, man. I'm just grieved by this, man, because it just represents what a lot of men are going through. And I'm sad, man. I'm not going to lie, man. I don't, it just breaks my heart, man. It makes me angry, to be honest with you. Um, and I know that's part of grieving. Um, and I think about his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I think about his close friends. I see it too much. It happens often, and I'm just like, man, men, let's go. Let's rise up. Let's band together. Oh, excuse me. Let's band together, guys, because there's a force out there that's trying to be greater than us, and it's not. Yet we're so divided and so separated that when the enemy does come, we're all by ourselves getting sniped. We're stronger together. We're stronger together. And what I'm about to say goes against everything that I've ever heard and everything that I was ever taught. But your strength doesn't come from women. Let me say that again. Your strength does not come from women. Huh. That just hit me. I needed to hear that. It doesn't. It doesn't. And if it does, then it doesn't work on me. You dig? That's not where I get my strength from. I if that was the is if that is the truth, then I am the 1% of a man who can't get his strength from a woman. I can't. It can't. You kidding me? I can get some amazing things from a woman, but my strength doesn't come from a woman. It's not produced and then given to me by a woman. That's not how that works. We want to become men uh that are supplying trust, safety in the relationship. We have a lot of say in the relationship. We have a lot of say on how this relationship goes, what direction it goes to, how we're going to be doing things. We have a lot of authority there, and we don't need to abuse our authority. And that might have been the problem in the past, where men were abusing their authorities. But our authority is really so that we can have peace in the relationship and understanding the relationship, direction in the relationship, vision within the relationship. I showed somebody the diagram that I have on my relationship and how we conduct just regular business in our relationship, how we conduct our grocery shopping, and what that even looks like, how we conduct our meals and what that looks like. And most men are just flying by the seam of it. They're just going, just like, I don't know. We'll maybe whip up this, and maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll do that, and it works for a little bit. It does work for a little bit. It does. Beauty fades. Beauty is going to fade. You will get old. You will get old, and it will fade. But guys, I want to let you know right now, you are more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. You dig? Get with a band of brothers right now. There's no reason why you don't meet once a week with your brothers to encourage each other, to warn each other, to read this book. I have another book. It's called The Way of the Superior Man. If you are, and again, I'm telling you what I believe in the process. You haven't read that book, and you don't read that book with men around you, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing. That book alone, well, if I only had one book, if I only had one book, I can only choose one book. That's hard because I love books. I couldn't just choose one book. I couldn't. I would have to choose the Bible, and I would have to choose The Way of the Superior Man. Or this book that I'm reading. Shoot, maybe the Bible and the Science of Attraction. Man, no, I got to pick three. I got to pick three. I can't just pick one. But I would read those books in hopes that I can like imprint the words and the methods and the way. I would want to like tattoo them in my soul, in my DNA, so that when I spoke and every time I would move because of these words. And that's it. Oops. That's it. Because it's that powerful. So men, what are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because some of us don't actually know the I keep tabs on this. So I study relationships. I study. I study people, behavior. With women, it's behavior. behavior if I can. It's hard to do it online because it's like, it's can be fake. You know what I'm saying? Um, but in real life, I have to continue case study after case study after case study of women and their behavior, because it'll all they can't hide that. They can hide behind their words. They can hide behind their words. Oh, we're just friends. We're just friends. He's so nice. He's so nice. You're so nice. You are so nice. We're friends. I grew up with all brothers. I grew up with all men, and so I'm always I know how to be around men. Hmm. Watch out for she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater, and not in the way that you want her to. And not in the way that you want her to. Run, run, run. There was an example of a man who said, I'm dating this girl, and she has her ex, and her ex is trying to be in her life, and this, and that. And he comes around, and she's still entertaining this man. And he was talking. This guy was telling the story, just like I'm telling you, right? And the host was like, "Stop, stop, 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 stop! Get out of the relationship, run." Really? But she's no, 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 run, run. She's trying to be with you, but her big toe is tied to this other guy. But she's still trying to be with you. Run, run. It doesn't matter. Run. Stay away from, because now you don't want to bring in that other guy's energy. Now he gets jealous. Now he starts encroaching on and approaching, whatever that word is, into your life. Now you had this peaceful life, and now you got this girl who's now a risk. Women are a risk. You're taking a huge risk. Right? And so we got to be mindful of these things. And this is why my philosophy is this. My philosophy and code is I am not and will not be friends with women. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I said it. Somebody out there angry right now. Somebody's like, well, he said, what? Oh, no, 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 no. I'm a girl and I have tons of guy friends. Like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? They're so nice. Guys, run. She doesn't want a doormat. A woman will never respect a man she can walk all over and control. Nature despises weakness. Ooh, boy, this goes against everything that the internet is talking about. What? What? Run. Remove yourself, Mark. Remove yourself now. Don't explain yourself. Remove yourself now. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. It doesn't matter when the spider senses tingle. When you get that funny, fuzzy feeling, you have this, I should leave. I should, what? I should leave. Don't question it. Don't question it. Just go. Run. Don't explain yourself either. Don't, especially to women. I don't care who they are. I don't care if your wife, your boss, your mom. Don't. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. I mean, you can. I don't. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't sit here and you know, and all this is about gossip, right? And men, I've known men to have committed, to end their life because of these things. You're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy. Be on your purpose. It's okay. It's okay. Let her go. Somebody need to hear this right now. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. I believe that the spirit is saying, let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Ooh, come on. You've seen the red flags. Don't associate with her. I'm speaking to myself. I need to hear this. Yes. Run. And everything that she touches, everything that she's associated with, disattach yourself from all of that. Run. Run, run, run. She's building a web. Don't get stuck in it. Anyway, I got to go. Bye.